Hi guys, and welcome to my February plan with me. For this February's bullet journal spread, I decided to do it birthday themed as it is my 22nd birthday this month. Here are some of the supplies that I used in this spread. So I've got this colourful washi tape as well as all of these colours of Tombow gel brush pens. Here are the numbers for reference if you wanted to get a certain colour. Okay, so moving on to how I actually made my February bullet journal spread. I first started off with using these watercolour paints, which are very messy because I've had them for numerous years now. And I started doing these little balloon shapes in lots of different colours. I was initially just going to do a few individual balloons, but I didn't like how sparse it looked. So I decided to do lots of layers of different coloured balloons just to make it look more full. While I was waiting for the balloons to fully dry, I decided to add some little watercolour splotches onto the other side of the page. I didn't want these splotches to be quite so dark, so I dabbed up some of the colour with a tissue and then added a bit more water to make the paint more subtle. And once all of my watercolour has dried, it's time to go in and do some details with a black fine liner. I started this out by laying down some washi tape that was the right thickness, and then I outlined all of the balloons to make them stand out more, as it currently just looks like a watercolour mess. Once I had outlined all of the balloons, I started working on the strings, so I just drew some rough lines and a little bow. The lines were just going down from all of the balloons that I could see. Next, it was time to peel back the washi tape so that I had this gap where I could write the name of the month, which is February. Once I have finished writing out February in the font that I wanted, I decided to go through and thicken up the lines just to make it a little bit more darker and to stand out more. I then decided that I wanted to add a little bit more dimension to the balloons, so I went in and I coloured over some of them using my Tombow gel brush pens. Then moving back onto the other page, I wrote a title saying 22nd birthday, and on this page I'm just going to put some little photos and memories of things that I did for my birthday this year. However, I did feel like this page looked a little bit plain, so I went in with my same pens and I just added some squiggles and dots to look like confetti. I do apologise for the sudden change in lighting. I filmed this video over the course of 2 days, so that's why that happened. I then used a white pen to go over on some of the balloons and add some highlights. I did have to go back and do this a few times as the watercolour was kind of activated by the pen, so that caused some issues, and I also just added this colourful washi tape which went with my spread really well. Now I am just going on and making my weekly spread. I'm using this grid spacing bookmark that I have made recently. It still needs finishing, hence why it's all done in pencil. Just for reference, the first box that I did is 12 squares by 17 squares, and the second box is 12 squares by 15 squares. And as always, I just use the first one as a to-do list for the week and the second one as a work schedule, so I can see where I'm teaching all my different classes for the week. I then go in and do my daily sections, which are a 12 by 12 box. I do 2 lines, one where I can put the date and another one where I can put any sort of event that's happening that day. I also like to add in this little mini habit tracker for the week, which is 10 squares by 8 squares. And I am just going in and using all of the same colours that I used in the previous spread just to make it all match nicely. After this, I decided to go through and add in the days of the week into all of my spread, and then add some different stickers that I felt like matched the colour theme well. And here is the final look at my February 2022 bullet journal spread. I am actually really happy with how this one turned out, considering I didn't really have much of a vision or an idea of what I wanted this one to look like. I also really enjoyed the filming and editing portion of this video, as I used some different angles and a few different editing techniques, so let me know down below what you think of those, and if you have any ideas of future spreads that I could do, I'd love to hear those too. And that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next month. Bye!